Hello everybody, this is Fanny. How are you? Hope you're doing good. I'm just making a quick video to show you this new series of painting that I started. It's probably gonna be in my Mandalaneous series. Really, there's no theme for this new one. Actually, I'm starting a series to complete my oracle, The Whispers of the Earth. And so I want to show you a little bit how I work when I have a lot of painting to make. So if I want to make this series of 44, I have like 15, 20 right now. So I need at least 25 to 30 paintings done and completed. And so I explain in my series that's on right now in the Metatron's Vibes how I paint several backgrounds at the same time. And I want to show you a little bit how the inspiration process comes up. Okay, so this is my office. See, I have some. Okay, so this is, I have about 12 painting right now. So I started last year, these two, okay, that I still haven't done for that restaurant. But it's still there. See, when the inspiration come, I will have it done. And when I paint the background, sometimes I'm like, oh, I'm gonna paint one or two or four. And then I found in my papers all these that I already started last year. So you see, I was like, oh, this would be a cool background, a nice beautiful pink quartz, pink purple metallic color, another gold metallic as well. This one is gonna be, and you see I wanted to do another tablets of emerald, because the ones that I made is in a portrait format, and for the oracle I need they all to be landscape. So I wanted to redo one landscape format and without the logo of the Roseau Picot, just because I've had problems with the copyrights before using symbols and logos and stuff. So in this oracle it would be really I mean, I will see with them if they want to have their logo inside the oracle, and I would love to put it, but anyways, I wanted to put it portrait, so there will be a sun right here, so that either was going to be the Roseau Picot logo or another symbol for the sun, and it will be a lot of metallic colors, emerald colors, of course, for the background. So this one I knew it was going to be a taut one when I did the background. So this one I started at the beginning of the year, you see. It took me a long time to copy the tablets. So now you see, so this is the first step. So all these, they are the first stage of painting when the background is done. And then you see this one, just have the background done. I repainted over, and so I was like, oh, I'm just gonna paint some circle. I have no idea what I'm gonna paint here, but the background is done. Now I have to find a design. And then one day I was like, oh, I'm gonna do a little just a silhouette one with you know, for my workshop, the colors of nature. And now I'm like, oh, maybe I'm gonna complete it, and this is gonna be one of the artwork for the deck. You see, this one was really just for fun. I was probably bored one afternoon. I mean, I'm never really bored. I always have stuff to do, but sometimes I have a calling that I need to paint something. And you see, I found it a year later, and I found out this a year later, and I'm like, oh, cool. See, I already have 12 paintings started that can be added up for the collection. Then I had this one as well. I had the background done a few months ago, and I didn't know what to paint. And the other day I was like, I'm gonna do a flower vibe. So most of them, it's sacred geometry. Most of them are based from the flower of life, but what other shape from the flower of life you can create. So this one is like a little cloud with the stars and the gold. You see, I want to show how many designs you can create from these sacred patterns, and how you can interpret them as well with the colors. See, so the purple is the symbol of the spiritual connection, for example. So with the star, it's like the guiding star, right? The spiritual connection. As I always say, I always feel like I have this guiding star over my head, right? That's guiding me, even though help me to recenter or guide me or stuff like that. I was gonna say even though I don't know where I'm going sometimes, but this is where I'm going. Actually, I always know where I'm going, because sometimes you already are where you're supposed to be. And I wanted to send a special message to my mentors, Dean and Tony, as well as always in all my videos. And thank you again. I love your videos and the support and listening to you guys every day. I know exactly what you are doing, trying to cheer me up, and when I started the mastermind, I was swearing, that you guys will never get rid of me, that I'm here to stay. And see, we're always still here working together. And I was painting this one, and I was like, so I was like, I had it well done with the circle, and then I was like, am I gonna add wings to it? Or no wings? What do you think? So see, it's interesting because you can see when you mess up the paint, how you can cover up and then put it back. So I just have to do one layer of background if I wanted to put it back to super clean as it was. So I did the wings, then I removed them. I was like, what is the symbolic of the wings? So that was an interesting one. Okay, so I wanted to talk about it a little bit. So you see the symbol is the symbol from the book The Kabbalion. So I was reading about it and I designed the symbol. And then I was like, what's missing with this Kabbalion? Because they're talking about how, the language of the initiate has to be coded, and so only the people who make the effort to understand it or to educate themselves can read it and identify, recognize it, right? And so you can actually communicate in plain sight. But some passages, of these books of the time, the level of education has changed, and I guess there was a huge gap at the time between the people who were slaves and workers and stuff, even though I'm not sure, because when you see the constructions of the pyramids or the architectures in ancient Greece and stuff like that, they were building palaces and sacred things aligned with the cosmos. So I don't think they were putting, their how do you say in English, their workforce, right? The people who have no studies or whatever, I think they were very educated. But nowadays with the Google, the information, we have this easier access, right, for everybody to the information. So this is what I don't like in those books, how they're kind of regarding, the kind of like the stupid people who can't understand it, or they don't say stupid, but the masses, right? And my main work is to tell, no, the truth is for everybody. It's not for a privileged people to access this because they've worked or studied with initiates and stuff. Of course, when you study with people who are already there and masters and mentors, and you learn a lot and you elevate. But when you see what they are doing, they are mass distributing this knowledge to everybody in a way or another, sometimes in disguised ways, because some people that are still close-minded or afraid of it. Even I have spiritual experiences every day in my life. And yet sometimes it still freaks me out when I'm thinking of something, or I'm writing something, or I'm painting something, and I open a book and randomly a random page, and it's exactly word for word, and I'm like, whoa, what in the world? It still freaks me out sometimes, or even to paranoia sometimes, because even if you're not aware that you're doing it, you are channeling this collective consciousness all the time. And so sometimes I will post something, and a few days after I reread it and I'm like, oh, this stuff has a double meaning. And sometimes when I see other people's page or a post, right away I have this paranoid side a little bit, that I'm like, oh, I can interpret this way, but I can also interpret it that way. So what does that mean? And sometimes I'm a little paranoid with people, because I'm like, oh, what kind of game is this guy playing? Like, you know, is this really respectful, or is this sincere, or is it sarcastic, you know? And so sometimes, you know, it's not good to overthink it and try to look for all the ideas, because you get paranoid, you know, to people. That's me. I'm trying. So I train myself to always see the best way, the best. I know mostly if there are people that you love and you trust, you know that they're not trying to be sarcastic, right? They want the best. So you're seeing what's the higher interpretation, the higher meaning of what you're reading. And of course, it applies to different level of frequency. If you are easily triggered by something, and even though you're super spiritual and you're doing the work, and you understand perfectly why this person is doing this, and that is the best option and outcome for them, and whatever, the knowledge is a thing, but it doesn't mean that it's not hurting you, or you don't have a trigger and you're gonna read something, and even though it's perfectly understandable, you still get triggered, right? And you're gonna understand the lower meaning of it, or whatever. So it's a practice also, you know, to highlight also what's still within you. And so with the wings, you know, I was like the symboling of the wings, and because I was thinking about this inner circle, right? And I'm here to stay. I don't want to put the wings. I don't want to go. I'm not going anywhere. Now I understand why some things in my life haven't been working, because I already found my place 2 years ago and said that I was here to stay, and I am. And sometimes you're trying to, you don't want to be a burden, or you feel like you're not good enough, or you like, I'm gonna go somewhere else, you know, I'm gonna leave. You know, how many times you wake up sometimes in the morning like, oh my god, this world will be so much better without me, you know, annoying everybody and being so needy or whatever, you know. And then you understand why it didn't work any other way, because I am already with my team, okay, Dean and Tony, the masterminds. I'm already where I'm supposed to be. And so I was painting this circle, and with the wings, but the wings, they're also the symbol of the connection, the spiritual connection, and with the two realms, right, the humans and the angel, and also expanding, right, freeing, breaking the chains. And you're free like a bird once you open the cage. It doesn't mean that you're leaving, it means you're free to go, but you decide, you know, where you want to be. You expand your wings, and this is the best when you have a bird that is free and decides to stay, because that is by choice, not because of a spell or a cast that's been put at the image I have right now. I'm saying this because I talk about it in another video about this girl, right, who at the time of the priests and stuff, they were teaching time travel, and she was working with the masters, and she was not allowed to use what they learned until she was allowed to, right? And it's funny, it's crazy putting the pieces together. It's funny because one of my first posts, if you look at my presentation, the Art Insights, I'm giving you a tour of my house. And in my caption, I wrote, watch out, this is only, do not attempt without the supervision of a time traveler, of a professional time traveler, right? This was 2-3 years ago. I wrote this like kind of a joke. But then that reminded me of that memory when they were learning the time travel and they were not allowed to do it without the masters. And then she did the time travel, she traveled, and one of the priests saw her and she got punished, locked up in a sarcophagus, right, for 100 years with an invisible chain. right, to keep her stuck there so she couldn't reincarnate and come back to this life. And I'm connecting, the past is happening at the same time. I'm connected. Sometimes I have dreams and I have to go free someone, and that is in another place in the world. And I'm like, is this real? Is this happening right now in this timeline? Is it a code, a message, symbolic for something that happened in the past? And then for one dream, at some point of your dream, it connects with one frequency of reality. And once this passed, you get back to this dream and you realize it also speaks for another level of reality and another level of reality. And then I was like, wow, this lady alien that was stuck underground that I saw in this marina. Yeah, I know this is crazy, but if you need to watch the rest of my videos, if you don't know what I'm talking about, that I explain all of this in my videos. So I'm sorry, it would be 2 hours if I explain it all. And I was like, wow, maybe she's stuck in this sarcophagus right now, and I have to free the soul from there, so she doesn't need permission. She's free to go and to honor, right, her vows that she's doing. So all the wings, that was all my thought process. I was like, I'm already where I'm supposed to be. I don't need the wings, but at the same time, we can fly together. It's not about, we already found our team, and now it's like, oh, what if I fall? But what if you fly? So yeah, that was the whole thing. Do I keep the logo simple and it symbolizes really the circle and being where you're supposed to be, or do I free the soul and I put the wings and to symbolize the expansion and the freedom as well? Yeah. So yeah, so thankful also for, like I said, my probably my two best friends who are watching my videos. I don't know if a lot of people watch them, but Dean and Tony, I know that you're with me, so thank you. I love you. And yeah, so follow along for the journey of the painting. Yeah, I don't know. No, it's exciting, it's a whole process, but you see, it's also important because when you're painting something, you're also recoding. You're recoding your reality. So yeah, it's time to expand. Another one, this one is cool. Same thing, this was a flower of life. As you can see, this was a flower of life, like this, ting, 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 right here. And then I traced the flower of life, then I erased, I traced with a pen just those lines to create like a mirror, like a frame, a little frame, and then I painted over. So there is already like 3 or 4 layers just for that background and that, so it looks clean like that. But if you look how disorganized you see, it's a good image. This is a good image for what the mastermind, they always say, you succeed in public for the stuff that you messed up and no one sees. And this is why I'm showing the process of the paintings, because when you see the painting like that, you're like, oh, this is so simple. This is so simple. It's just a few lines. And no, that's why I'm showing you this one. There's already like 4 layers of background plus the first design, paint over, I see just the transparent line. I can make it super clean over it, and then when you see it, you're like, oh, this is so simple, this is so basic and easy. But no, and you see now, so I did the wings, and then I'm like, no, I don't need the wings, I'm here to stay, I'm where I'm supposed to be. And then I was like, yes, but I also like the symbol of the expansion, right? And so the colors, let me explain to you the colors now. So the thought process, right? So we have the heart in the middle, the chakra of the heart, and then the green and the emerald. Of course, I have my thought energy, right? Some green emerald colors here in the square, like the tablets, right? So you see a simple square and color, it can reference already to something else. So of course it references to the tablets of an emerald. And the heart with the green and pink, they're the colors of the heart chakra. Okay, then the pyramid, I did it a real pyramid color. So it's champagne and white, light gold. There's 2 or 3 shades of gold and champagne, kind of. Just because I didn't want to do purple, I wanted to, because purple is the spiritual connection, right? But this is, I already have a spiritual connection. I wanted something in the matter colors of the real pyramids, the color to materialize in the real life. Okay, so the colors of the pyramid, and then I was gonna do white. So it's like the moon, like a projector, you know, like when you look at the sun, if you paint a sun, or if you take a picture of the sun, usually when we paint the sun, we always paint the sun yellow and orange, right, with the rays. But when you actually look at a sunset or whatever, the sun in the sky, the sun is white. Like the light is so bright, it's white, and it's the sky around it that is orange and different colors and pink and stuff, yellow. So I was gonna put it white, so it's like it could be the light of the moon, it could be the light of the sun, it can be like a projector. And here, all this, it's probably gonna be a deep blue like that, right? Or maybe, I don't know yet. So then you see, I was like, and the wings also, the pyramid flying over, the energy of the pyramid flying over to South America, to Argentina, for example, for the 11/11 event. So this is also the energy that connects, right? That's flying over. So there is a lot, you see, in a simple design, there is a lot of thought process. So hopefully that helps you understand a little bit more about the shapes and the codes that you see all around you, and also how to create the patterns for your reality as well. But you know, then of course I'm thinking of what Dean was saying, right? It's like sometimes you're going left and right, you know, you're dispersed when you have to focus on one place, right, to be able to manifest. It's like me when I have 5 projects. I'm working on 5 different projects at the same time right now. This is why I'm so slow, because I'm doing a little bit of that, and I would be so much faster if I would be just doing this book that I've been working on for a year. But if I'm just on the book, then I get a block. And after a while, I'm on the book in front of the computer, then I need to leave it aside. Even though I want to do more, I need to leave it aside and paint a little bit, even not a lot. You see it, this is not a lot. I paint for an hour or something, then I put it on the side, I put it back later, and the thought process. So yeah, because I was putting the wings, and I was like, but you know what? It's another symbol of being flying around, right? And maybe I need to recenter. I need to stay, you know, true to my energy and stuff. So yeah, a little overthinking as well as always. But it really looked good without the wings, and it really looks good with the wings as well. So I think I will still add the wings just for this symbol of liberation as well, and freedom of movement. And it's gonna really liberate some karmic memories, you know, to add it. And the circle is still there, the circle is flying with it. Okay, so yeah, all right, that is it. And for this one I want to do, where is it? Where did I put it? Oh, it's gone. Well, for this one, it's going to be the tablets also. It's going to be a golden version of the tablets. We start in the tablets, or I don't know, it's gonna be some Egypt, right? The gold is gonna be some Egypt. Maybe Horus, and I'm gonna paint, one of my painting is gonna be my dream that I dreamed of. I dreamt that Horus was handing a scarab to Sobek. So I'm still interpreting this dream, but as always, many way to interpret the dreams. All right, everybody, thank you for watching. Have a great week. Stay safe if you're in Florida. Yeah, we have a storm coming. We got lots of food. We're good to go. Be safe, everybody, and take care. Bye bye.